assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call the performance of important tasks in this county and the Republic of Kenya. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, welfare of our county and of those whose interests you committed to our charge. Amen. Confirm if there's quorum. I think we need one more member. Honorable Kebene, get us one more member. Meanwhile, the sergeants kindly ring the bell. Orders of the business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable Fred.
Sana Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kupata habari ya kwamba spika mwenye alikuwa wakati iliyopita alikuwa ametuambia kwamba kuna habari tutapewa kuhusu mafasi ya bunge hii. Mheshimiwa Spika, na nafikiri spika mwenye alikuwa hapo siku hiyo alikuwa amesema atatupatia habari, mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika hatujapata.
I will deal with the same after consultation, Honorable Fred. I think this next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I wish to communicate to the House that the House, honorable members are invited to the Thanksgiving service for one of us, Honorable Trufosa Kuto, nominated MCA, which will be held on the Sunday, 31st March at All Saints SEK, Mungelo, and later lunch at their home at Kabisocho Village, Serem. The guest speaker will be the Right Reverend Dr. Paul Korir, Bishop Kapsabet Diocese. So this is a special invitation for one of us. Remember that has come late because her coming to be into this house took time due to the court matter over the same issue. Secondly, I think Honorable Fred have been seized of the matter and I've been notified by the clerks that the same needs to be displayed. The ICT are working so that the same are displayed on the screens. then we can pick up the conversation about the dressing. It is true that the speaker of the day had ruled that the same will be considered. So we're just waiting upon the ICT, then we can be able to display about the considered attire. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, papers.
Next order.
Order number 5, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Philip Chepkwony.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the committee, on behalf of the Chair, Committee on Finance, I want to respond to the statement sought to the Committee on Finance and Economic Planning. Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Finance and Economic Planning deliberate on the due statement directed to the committee by the Speaker. 1. Sought by Honorable Gideon Koech on Tuesday, 6 February 2019, on the status of the CT sales collected in the financial year 2017-2018 and the first half of the financial year 2018-2019. 2. Statement sought by Honorable Hilary Serem on Thursday, 14 March 2019, on status of the sugar milling company says. Mr. Speaker, the committee held 2 meetings and deliberate on the 2 statements and resolved to seek information from the CEC Finance, and thereby the letters were sent. Attached are the copies of the letters sent to the CEC seeking response from the statement, which to date have not been responded yet. Mr. Speaker, it is the request of the committee to seek additional 7 days to summon the CEC Finance and Economic Planning before the committee, slated for next Tuesday, April 2019.
The same will be considered, but I have a concern. Number 1, when we set timelines in the floor of the House, it is a duty of the committee to ensure that the department involved stick to it, so that if the department fails to give their response within the set timeline, then the committee should not sit and wait for long to come seek an extension here. You should be seized of the matter and immediately summon the person in charge of the department instead of waiting and then coming seeking. So in as much as the 7 days may be granted, going forward, I would want the committees to stamp their authority. If you have sought within 7 days, it must be within 7 days. If they cannot make it in 7 days because of the technicalities, then they should, in the bare minimum, appear before the same committee, convince you, and then you can approve. So that by the time you come here, it is much easier for us to see that you actually sought answers to the statements, and then the department did not comply because of their technical issues. But importantly, you had a one-on-one session with the person in charge of the department, the CC, and gave you an undertaking maybe for 7 more days. Then you come here, and that's when you can requisition that kind of information. So I think that should be clear. Next.
Order number 8, motion.
Honorable Mengech.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mengech.
Being a member of the House Business Committee, I'm surprised that this motion has been sneaked into the order paper. Whoever sneaked it must take responsibility. We did not, and we have not placed it on the order paper for today. It was placed for last week, but because of quorum issues and other issues, it could not be.
Honorable Mengech, I don't know if you were in the floor of the House last Thursday afternoon. Were you on the floor of the House?
Yes.
What happened last Thursday?
I think, Honorable Speaker, it is not upon me to respond to that question. It's
No, I'm
upon
asking
you.
you a question, because if you are on the floor of the House, you can attest that the same was tabled, right? The same was tabled on Thursday afternoon.
The same was tabled.
Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupata habari kama hii bunge bado inafuata sheria ama imeenda kando, kwa sababu mheshimiwa ameongea kwamba yeye ako kwa hiyo kamati.
Honorable Fred, Honorable Fred,
Mheshimiwa Spika,
Honorable Fred, kindly take your seat because you cut him short. He was still explaining, then you can come after. Honorable
Speaker,
Mengechi.
the report on the CFSP was tabled. It was given a notice of motion, but it has not been placed on the order paper for today.
Honorable Mengechi, are you confirming before this house that the same had not been put on a rollover basis, that upon tabling the same would come up in the first instance?
Cannot be.
So that one, as a member of the House Business Committee, that is what you are informing the House.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Fred.
Hivyo ndio nilikuwa nauliza Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba Mheshimiwa Spika alikuwa nimekuuliza pia kuhusu mafasi. Si ati ya kwamba lazima tuoneshe, tunajua. Na sheria iko, tunajua sheria Mheshimiwa Spika. Tuliwauliza wakati hiyo wale waheshimiwa mama walikuwa na maklako walikuwa wanafaa malong. Tukawauliza sheria gani? Mheshimiwa Spika mwenye alikuwa hapa akasema atatuambia. Wiki uliopita. Mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika tunaona yanafanyika Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, sumama kidede utuoneshe sheria ni gani tunafuata. Kwa sababu siari tunasoma sheria kipengele 100 Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika inasema Mheshimiwa Spika inasema vile mafasi inatakana ifaliswe.
Honorable Kipkurichep Kwanya.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to make a comment on the issue that has been raised by Member Rono, Teacher Rono, that, Honorable Speaker, this House being a house of procedure and rules and best practice, it is a very sensitive document, the issue of the CFSP, Honorable Speaker. If, as indicated by the member for the source, the document was tabled on Thursday last week. It would only be procedural that the tabling of a document, of course, is scheduled by the House Business. The time allocation for discussion of a motion or any document in this House has to be given time or allocated time by the House Business Committee, Honorable Speaker. So that, Honorable Speaker, we need to be very careful that in such a scenario, if this document, the allocation of time for this document was not done procedurally, then whatever we are going to transact after that is going to be an analysis. So, Honorable Speaker, I seek that we be very careful about this. This is not the motion. It's not similar to a motion by a member for Terek on the issue of creation of culverts or blah, blah. This is a money bill. This is a formal document that needs to be transacted procedurally.
Honorable Kipkurichep Kwanya, your sentiments have been noted. Honorable members, based on that, because these are two members of the House Business Committee, both of them sit in the House Business Committee. That is enough for me, therefore, to refer to the House Business Committee. The same will be deferred for verification by the House Business Committee after this session so that they can verify, and we cannot proceed with the
Just before that, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable members.
the County Assembly of Nandi should and must be respected. We would like the person who placed it on the order paper to take responsibility. We have come to, you said, I quote you, no more complainers, no more critics, must take action. From your own words, somebody must take
Sit. We'll deliberate on this. I think that is settled. Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupata habari kama mtu anafanya makosa ndio wewe utasuhuia Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, kama mtu ameshinda na kasi atoka hapa Mheshimiwa Spika. Ya kwanza Mheshimiwa Spika, mambo kama haya sisi tuko na sheria. Kamati yenye niko naye ya justice iko na sheria yake. Kwa nini mtu alitokezaje mpaka akafanya mambo kama haya Mheshimiwa Spika? Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiangalia sasa wewe unafuata sheria. Yale mafazi nimesema ni sheria. Ile maneno umesema umefuata sheria. Mwenye anafanya makosa utafanya namna gani Mheshimiwa Spika? Yeye lazima ajibu. Mheshimiwa Spika. Kama ameshindwa na kazi, Mheshimiwa Spika, atoka aende kando, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Point of information, Honorable
Honorable
Speaker.
members,
Point
I'll
of
overrule. Honorable members, I have already made my comment on the same. The House Business Committee will deliberate on the same soon after that. All the complaints and considerations of the same will be considered. So, honorable members, that is not subject to discussion. We cannot prosecute here. We'll prosecute in the House Business Committee. That is settled. Next order.
Order
Point
number
of
9.
inquiry, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Terry.
Just want to inquire whether the Procedures and Rules Committee can also be included in ensuring that the procedures are followed, because it's like
Honorable Terry.
Something wrong is
Honorable
happening.
Terry, you are out of order. Take a seat. House Business Committee is seized of the matter when it comes to the timetabling. Honorable Fred, you had raised a comment about the dress code. Under standing order number 101 and 2, 101 talks about a lady member may be allowed into the chamber with a handbag of reasonable size. Number 2, a lady member must dress in a smart and respectful manner. So I'm reliably informed that the Speaker of the Day, was now to clearly provide what constitutes smart and respectful manner, because a lady must dress in a smart and respectful manner. That is what the standing orders provide. So it's a question of, can we then define what it entails? What are the dressing accepted to be smart and respectful? So that is a question that is yet to determine. That's why I told you your concerns were noted. I needed first the projection of what has been found so that we can discuss once you see. Then you'll have a right of reply. And then we can continue that. So in the meantime, I think that is settled. I wouldn't want you to comment on the same. I just wanted to show you your concern has not been brushed aside. It is still an agenda and the same will be answered. Just be a little bit patient, then I'll give you the right of reply. Next order.
Order number 9. Motion.
Honorable Osborne, comment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to move a motion on construction and improvement of road networks, not road network linking tourist sites, and allocation of sufficient funds. Honorable Speaker, aware that trade, development and regulation, including local tourism, is a devolved function under Section 7D of Part 2 of 4th Schedule of the Constitution. Further aware that tourism sector should be one of the important factors of economic growth and job creation in our county, considering that transport and infrastructure is key in promoting tourism, for the reasons that accessibility to tourist sites is essential for purposes of increasing visits to the tourist sites, hence boosting number of tourists to such sites, thus promoting hospitality industry, that is investors, as well as creating employment, which is in effect leads to increased revenue to our county for sustainable development. Noting that Nandi County has poor road network linking to over 66 tourist sites in our county and beyond, cognizant that the said poor road network has negatively impacted tourist investors' confidence, leading to low income collection from tourism sector. This House therefore resolves that the county government in the financial year 2019-2020 and subsequent financial years do consider allocation sufficient funds for construction and improvement of road networks linking tourist sites. Honorable Speaker, this county is to date earning very little in terms of tourism. From record, it is indicative that we only earn about 1.4 million shillings in tourism sector. We have very beautiful county, which if today we are able to make roads to such tourist sites, for example, like Nandi Rock, linking it to Kisumu County, it could actually generate a lot of revenue to our county. I know there are many other tourist sites that members would attest that due to poor road networks, we are not able to harness the best out of tourism. In this regards, therefore, I would wish to urge the county to put in enough resources and ensure that we have roads linking to all tourist sites for purposes of growing our economy, so that we're able to generate enough revenue for our city. Number two, also going to create employment. The other day in and we saw we are actually offering training in terms of hospitality. In the long run, where will these trainees, or when they graduate, where will they work? If you are not able to spark growth towards the hospitality industry, I therefore urge our members to assist in ensuring that we pass this motion, so that we help in ensuring that we grow in the tourism industry. I request that Honorable Mayo, the Chair of Tourism, to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, that the motion on construction and improvement of road network linking tourist sites and allocation of sufficient fund be now debated. Honorable Kevolwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I would congratulate Honorable Osborne Komen to bring this important motion that the road network linking to tourist site, it's of importance, particularly here in Nandi County. It will boost in many ways. Mr. Speaker, I was going through another episode when I saw it in the TV that was focusing on, there's a certain stone in Ukambani there, where the indigenous say if any woman wanted to change the status of her or him, you could go there around there maybe 10 times, and you are changed maybe to a man, or you are changed to a woman. So you see, such a thing, Mr. Speaker, it really carries somebody's interest to go there and actually see what is taking place there. So, Mr. Speaker, if maybe here in Nandi, like the stone that is Nandi Rock, that is within bordering Kisumu there, maybe we can put there something and we create something. If you want to maybe to have twins, you can go there and you'll be blessed with the twins. Such a thing, Mr. Speaker, it will even bring tourists from both sides. Or if you are barren, you go and sing there from evening, from daylight to evening, then you'll have children. Then that one will create. So, and the only way to access to that rock is when there's accessibility of roads. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion that the relevant authority, maybe through the Department of Tourism, should come up with a way and secure funds to ensure that that thing begins immediately. So I support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fred.
Yangu ni kushukuru
mheshimiwa kwa mswada ambaye ameleta hapa. Nafikiri amefikiria sana Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu barabara ya kwenda pale iko na shida. Wiki iliyopita tulikuwa kwa Mheshimiwa Maia, na nafikiri niliona mawe sijawahi ona, lakini ukiangalia walifanya tu hawajaweka mara kwa hiyo barabara. Nafikiri ikinyesha, kwa sababu nilikuwa napangilia kupeleka watoto wangu pale, na pia waweke, unajua kaunti ya Nandi hawana mpangilio. Hiyo mawe kungekuwa na watu ya kaunti wanachukua shilingi 20 ndio tuende tuangalie, kwa sababu hiyo mawe sijawahi ona dunia. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna mawe imesimama mrefu, tulikuwa kwa hiyo kanisa tukaangalia. Nafikiri wewe unajua, wewe ni mtu ya huko. Mambo kama haya vile mheshimiwa amesema, serikali wangetumia nafasi kutafuta pesa, kuangalia, kupeleka wasungu waende waangalie, na pia si barabara peke yake yenye inaingia pale ndani. Kule ndani watengeneza barabara ya kutembea kwa hiyo msitu ndani, hakikisha kwamba wasungu wakipitia ndani ndio angalau tupate pesa. Sisi kama kaunti ya Nandi mpaka sasa tukitaka tuweke mpangilio, kuna shida ya fedha kutoka serikali kuu. Ukiangalia sasa, mwaka uliopita serikali ya juu ilianza kupunguza milioni 900. Hivi sasa wamepunguza milioni 300. Na nafikiri hiyo pesa imepungua. Nafikiri mambo ya pesa, maendeleo nafikiri itakuwa imeleta shida. Mpaka sasa tumekosa bilioni 100.200. Sisi kama kaunti tumekosa hiyo pesa. Tukitaka tupange na leta shida. Tuhakikisha kwamba viwanja kama hiyo, tuhakikisha kwamba tumefanya kazi kama hiyo, angalau watu wakuje walipe pesa, tupate pesa mingi ya kutumia. Sasa ukiangalia ile kiwango tulikuwa tumepewa kwa usanyaji wa fedha, watu tuko chini. Kuna pesa kama hii ya machani chai. Mheshimiwa Kapchoro walikuwa wameleta mswada, mpaka sasa hakuna mtu amekata. Tungekuwa tunatengeneza barabara katikati ya hiyo machani chai, angalau watembee pale. Unajua hiyo tena, ukitembea kuna maajabu, wengine hawajawahi ona chai. Hakuna mtu anadai. Kweli kuna mahali imefungwa, lakini inafunguliwa au lipi chochote. Kaunti ya Nandi lazima uangalie na wajue ya kwamba sisi kama kaunti ya Nandi tutafanya namna gani. Ukienda kule Narok, ukiangalia barabara ya kwenda kutembea pale, nafikiri watakuwa naangalia vile jinsi watu wanatembea pale. Na ningependa mheshimiwa na kamati ya hiyo watembee, waangalie, wapewe nafasi, waende atembee na utembee na mawaziri, wahakikisha kwamba kila kitu yenye nafanyika pale, sisi kama kaunti ya Nandi tuhakikishe tumefanya hivyo. Na pia waziri wa barabara lazima waungane, wahakikisha kwamba barabara ya kwenda kule ndani imetengezwa. Niko na shamba kubwa, nafikiri ilikuwa imetengwa ya kwamba kuna wanyama itawekwa ndani, lakini barabara ni mbaya. Lakini tunataka tena kwa hii mswada isaidie wa mawaziri wapate mawaida kwetu, wafanye hiyo kazi. Nafikiri naunga mkono mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Mengech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to support the motion by Honorable Comment. Thank you, Honorable Comment, for coming up with this motion. I wish to say that tourism remains the highest honor. Unfortunately, in Kenya, we may not be, in Nandi, we may not be seeing the fruits of tourism because of such issues like infrastructure. Serious countries where they have invested heavily in tourism, especially in infrastructure related to tourism, like it's more than 2 billion shillings annually from tourism. Looking at countries like Singapore, where their GDP is largely service industry. In a country of 5 million people, they receive 15 million tourists a year. Nandi, I don't think we have statistics. Honorable Mayo, maybe you can give us the statistics. How many tourists, local tourists do we receive? How many international tourists do we receive? But then, as Honorable Fred has said, have we marketed our tourist sites? Have we marketed? Have we marketed Nandi Rock? Have we marketed Kiblolok, Salty Lake, Keben Salty Lake? Have we marketed Ngabunat Caves? Have we marketed them? Because we have not, because basically now that the rains have started, we may not be able to access Ngabunat Caves. Very important historical caves, which would be very important for historical visits. We need to have them accessible. If you look at Keben, for example, the Salty Lake, it's a salt lake. It's not accessible because there are no roads. So I support this motion, Honorable Speaker. And then maybe the implementation committee, because Honorable Speaker, you find that for all the motions and bills that we have ever passed in this House, it's unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that less than 5% of them have been able to be implemented because of financial constraints and non-budgetary allocation. So I would urge the implementation committee to seriously make a follow-up. Otherwise, it would be wasting a lot of our time passing motions which are impotent, are barren. Thank you.
I'll just give 3 more, then we'll call it, put it on a question. Honorable Chepkoech.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker kwa kunipatia hii ruhusa. Namshukuru Mheshimiwa Komen kwa kuleta hii motion, kwa sababu hata mimi nilikuwa nikikumbuka hii jambo. Kama hakuna barabara hapo, mimi najua hata watu wenye wanatoka nje hawataweza kuja hapo. Na pia tusipotengeneza kweli hapo, tuweke hata vitu zenye zinapendeza, hao watu watakuja. Sasa kama vile Mheshimiwa Mengeja amesema, watu wanapata pesa kutoka yani kaunti zingine. Sasa Nandi sisi tutapaka hapo siku gani? Sasa inatubidi tuweke place hii, wameshaleta emotion, tupitishe alafu tutengeneze hiyo na tutengeneze haraka haraka. Tutaki mambo zenye tunasema tumepitisha alafu inakaa hapo. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sanga.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also stand to support this motion, and I thank the mover of the motion. Like in my ward, the main tourist attraction sites are in private developers' lands. And the private developers or the private company have really ignored. The roads serving the place are very poor, and it's a very important historical site, as it has been mentioned by Honorable Mengech, which is in Kapunat Caves. It is in a private land. So I was also requesting that the county government of Nandi to take over.
Honorable Speaker, information kindly.
Honorable Mengech.
Yeah, maybe I'm shocked that Ngabunat Caves, how can a historical cave be on private land? I really seek to get information from Honorable Sanga.
It is true, it is in a private land from multinational company, Kibabet. So it is not in a public place.
Is Kibabet a private company or they are operating under the leases?
It is a private company, Eastern Produce, Kenya Limited.
Honorable Mengech.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, as you have, we really seek to get clarification, not even from Honorable Sanga, maybe from the Lands Committee, because as you have asked, if it's under leasehold, EPK does not own any land here in Nandi. All these shambas are under leasehold. The lands belong to the people of Nandi. So how can Ngabunat Caves, which is under EPK, be on a private property?
Honorable members, the same will be canvassed.
In fact, there is restriction from entering the place.
Okay.
You have to request the company so that you can enter there.
Proceed, but the lands and the environment, I saw you standing.
Mr. Speaker, has a lot of potential, Mr. Speaker, to earn us a lot of income. Being a department, Mr. Speaker, normally we normally have revenues from various sources, but we have not been given the exact revenues we have gotten for the last around 6 years, Mr. Speaker, in this department, because I do believe that it is on its infancy stage, and anything which is actually supposed, which is done on this department actually will assist a lot in improving this sector, Mr. Speaker. And one of them is improvement of road network towards various tourist tourist places where we have good scenery, which can attract very good intentions, and that is of improving the revenue for this county.
Honorable
Thank you, Mr.
Chepkwony.
Speaker.
It's a good motion. As a member of Tourist Committee, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that most of the tourist attraction sites are, for example, Honorable Speaker, in our area, particularly the Morobi Shau, Honorable Speaker, it is owned by the members of the public, and the one I think our committee, Honorable Speaker,